हेलो एवरीवन। यह वीडियो कंप्यूटर अवेयरनेस बुक से अरिहंत पब्लिकेशन के बुक से बनाया गया है। इस वीडियो में हम लोग कंप्यूटर अवेयरनेस के चैप्टर 2 कंप्यूटर आर्किटेक्चर पर ऑब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चंस को सॉल्व करेंगे। चैप्टर 1 का ऑब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चन पहले आ चुका है, आप लोग उसे देख लेंगे। ये आपके सभी वन डे एग्जामिनेशन जिसमें भी कंप्यूटर अवेयरनेस पूछता है उसमें हेल्प करेगा। तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं। द बेसिक फंक्शंस परफॉर्म्ड बाय द कंप्यूटर आर डेटा प्रोसेसिंग, डेटा स्टोरेज, data movement and data control. So the correct answer of this question is all of these. The computer performs data processing, data storage, data movements and data control. The next question is that DAS forms the backbone for building successful computer system. Computer architecture. The correct answer is the computer architecture forms the backbone for building the successful computer system. Next question is that the first computer architecture was introduced in the year 1970. The first computer architecture was introduced in the year 1970. The fourth question is which circuit board is used in all electronic systems such as computer, calculators, digital systems. The architecture board is used in all electronic systems such as computer, calculators, digital systems. The next question is the system unit. The system unit is the container that houses electronic components. The system unit is the container that houses electronic components. The sixth question is which of the following is metal or plastic case that holds all the physical part of the computer? So all the physical part of the computer is stored in the system unit. All the physical part of the system is stored in the system unit. The seventh question is the components that processes data are located in which of the following? The components that processes data are located in system unit. System unit contains all the components is the component that processes data. Okay. The next question is which of the following is not responsible for the performance of the computer? The number keys in the keyboard are not responsible for the performance of the computer. The numbers of keys in the keyboard are not responsible for the performance of the computer, whereas the performance of the computer is impacted by the format of the video or graphics word, memory in the video or graphics word, the clock speed of the processor, and the number of cores available in the processor. All these four factors, that is videos and graphics, memory, clock speed, and number of cores, is responsible for the performance of the computer. The ninth question is a dash device is any device that provides information which is sent to the CPU. An input device is a device that provides information which is sent to the CPU for the processing. So the correct answer is the input device. The next question, which of the following includes as a type of input? So all of the above, that is the data, programs, commands and user response. Data, programs, commands and user responses include the input. The 11th question, that information that comes from external source and fed into computer software is called it is called the input the input comes from external source and is fed into computer software. The 12th question, input unit converts data in computer in acceptable format. Input converts data in computer in acceptable format. The next question is that this unit sends the processed result to the user. The output unit sends the processed results to the user. The 14th question is output unit includes plotter, printer, monitor. So the correct answer is all of these. The 15th question, this component is required to process data into information and consists of integrated circuits. So CPU is a component which is required to process data into information and it consists of integrated circuits. The next question is the central processing unit in a computer consists of control unit, primary storage and secondary storage. CPU consists of control unit, primary storage and secondary storage. Next question, which instruction is used for loading data into computer, accumulator, register from memory? Which instruction is used for loading data into CPU, accumulator, register from memory? It is load. Load instruction is used for loading data. Where does the computer add and compare data? Where does the computer add and compare data? The computer adds and compare data in a CPU chip. What is the brain of the computer? The brain of the computer is the CPU. This is the simple question. What is the brain of the computer? CPU is called the brain of the computer. The next question is CPU is fabricated as a single integrated circuit which is known as microprocessor. The CPU is fabricated into a single integrated circuit known as microprocessor. The CPU chip used in a computer is partially made up of silica. The main job of a CPU is to carry out programs instruction and process data and information. The main job of the computer is to carry out program instruction and process data and information. So the correct answer is both 1 and 3. The 23rd question. The main purpose of time sharing technique used in computer is to make the best use of the CPU. The main purpose of time sharing techniques used in computer is to make the best use of the CPU. The CPU is made up of two smaller components called arithmetic and logic unit and control unit. The CPU comprises of control, memory and arithmetic and logic unit. The CPU comprises of control unit, memory unit and arithmetic and logic unit, ALU. The 26th question is, what is the responsibility of logic unit in the CPU of a computer? The main responsibility of the logic unit in the CPU of a computer is to compare numbers. Arithmetic and logic units compare the numbers. Which unit of the computer help in communication between the memory and the arithmetic and the logic unit? The communication is established between the memory and the arithmetic and logic unit through the CPU. Which part of the computer is used for calculating and comparing? Calculation and comparing is done by the arithmetic and logic unit of the computer. Pick the one that is used for logical operations or comparisons such as less than, equal to, or greater than, etc. So this comparison is made by arithmetic and logic unit. What does arithmetic and logic unit in computing denote? It denotes arithmetic and logic unit. How many types of arithmetic operation? How many types of arithmetic operations does the ALU of the computer perform? ALU of the computer perform four types of arithmetic operation. Arithmetic and logic unit of the computer performs four types of arithmetic operation. Processors contain a control unit. The processors contain a control unit and arithmetic and logic unit. Which of the following executes the computer commands? The computer commands are executed by both 1 and 2, that is arithmetic unit and the logic unit. The 34th question, which unit is a combinational digit electronic circuit that performs arithmetic and bitwise operations on integer binary number? So it is arithmetic and logic unit. Arithmetic unit is a combinational digital electronic circuit that performs arithmetic and bitwise operations on integer binary numbers. Internal memory in a CPU is nothing. Internal memory in a CPU is nothing but a set of registers. Internal memory in the CPU is a set of registers. Which among the following is a small set of data holding place that is a part of the computer processor and may hold an instruction, a storage address, or any kind of data? So it is register. Register is a small set of data holding place that is a part of the computer processor and may hold an instruction, a storage address, or any kind of data. The portion of the CPU that coordinates the activities of all other computer components is the control unit. The control unit coordinates the activities of the computer. Which among the following is an important circuitry in a computer system that directs the operation of the processor? So it is a control unit. Control unit is an important circuitry in the computer system that directs is the function of coordination, that directs the operation of the processor. The part of a computer that coordinates all its function, the part of the computer that coordinates all its function is called its control unit. The control unit is a director of the computer or coordinator of the computer. The control unit controls other units by the control units control other units by generating control signals. The control unit of a digital computer is the control unit of a digital computer is often called the nerve center. The 42nd question is that who invented the first microprocessor? The first microprocessor was invented by Ted Hoff. A microprocessor is the brain of the computer. The microprocessor is the brain of the computer and is also called a microchip. The microprocessor can be used to make computer, digital systems, calculators. So the correct answer is all of these. The next question is that the microprocessor is made up of millions of transistor. Transistor helps in making the microprocessor. The microprocessor of a computer understand only machine language. The memory unit that communicates directly with CPU, the memory unit that communicates directly with the CPU is called the main memory. The main memory communicates directly with the CPU. CPU retrieves its data and instructions. CPU retrieves its data and instruction from the main memory. Which computer memory is used for storing programs and data currently being processed by the CPU? It is being stored in the internal memory of the computer. The input and output processor has the direct access to main memory. The input and output processor has direct access to the main memory and contains a number of independent data channels. The word computer usually refers to the central processing unit. The word computer usually refers to the central processing unit plus internal memory. CPU plus internal memory forms the computer. The CPU and the memory are located in which of the following devices? The CPU and the memory are located on the motherboard. The main circuit board in the computer that connects the parts of the computer is the motherboard. Motherboard is the main circuit board of the computer and it connects different parts of the computer. The personal computers use a number of chips mounted on a main circuit board. What is the common name for such boards? So it is motherboard. Which of the following are the components that reside on the motherboard? The motherboard consists of CMOS battery, fan, PCI slot. So the correct answer is all of these. So we can say here that any component parts, physical parts of the computer are connected through the motherboard. The communication line between the CPU, memory and peripherals is called a bus. So bus is a communication line. For example, we connect USB, that is Universal Service Bus, that is our pen drive. So bus is a communication line between CPU, memory and the peripherals. 57th question is dash connects components inside the motherboard like CPU and the system memory. The correct answer is internal bus. That is internal bus connects components inside the motherboard like CPU and system memory. The 58th question is the address of input and output device or memory is carried by the address bus. Address is carried by the address bus. The physical connection between the microprocessor, memory, and other parts of the microcomputer is known as the physical connection is established by the address bus between the microprocessor, memory, and other parts of the microcomputer. The read-write line belongs to the read-write line belongs to the control bus. The read-write line belongs to the control bus. The name of the location of a particular piece of data is its address. Which of the following is used to connect the different external devices? The different external devices is connected through the external bus like USB, which is not an integral part of the computer. So first we should know what are the integral part of the computer. Like CPU, mouse and monitor are the integral part of the computer, whereas UPS is not an integral part of the computer. It is an external power source. A device that not only provides surge protection but also furnishes the computer with a battery backup power during a power outage is called UPS. A temporary storage area attached to the CPU for input-output operation is a buffer. The buffer is a temporary storage area. To measure the speed of the processor, clock speed is used. A uniform interval of CPU time allocated for use in performing a task is known as time slice. A uniform interval of CPU time allocated for use in performing a task is known as time slice. What is the full form of DMA? It means double memory access. DMA full form is double memory access. The machine cycle includes none of these. The machine cycle does not include any of the fetch, decode, execute or store function. When machine instructions are being executed by a computer, the instruction phase followed by the execution phase is referred to as the instruction cycle. The question is asking that when a machine instruction are being executed by a computer, the instruction phase is followed by execution phase, and this process is known as instruction cycle. The S is the process of carrying out command. So executing is the process of carrying out the commands. The processor must have two inputs, that is instruction and data. The instruction and data are required for the processor to produce an output. So two important inputs are instruction and data. So the third question is that dash defines the parameters of the action and depends on the operation, that is operand. Operand defines the parameter of an action and depends on the operation. Pipeline strategy is called to implement the instruction prefetch. On the motherboard, the connection points for chips are referred to as sockets. On the motherboards, the connection points for chips are called sockets. So thank you friends. This is the last question. Meet you in the next video.